All right, let's go ahead and solve homework exercise number 8 from section 3.3. We've got the statement negation of P or negation of Q. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to work inside the parentheses, order of operations, logical operations. We're going to do the negation of Q first. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do that first, so column 3. And then inside the parentheses, P or not Q, that will be our step 2. And then the step 3 will be the negation of this whole quantity, so that will be step 3, all right? So we can see that we're going to do negation of Q, then do P or not Q, and then the negation of column 4 will be column 5. All right, so first row, both are begin with are true, so then negation of Q, which is true, will be a false statement. P is true, right? And now or, negation of Q we just found out is false. A true or false statement is actually true, okay? Disjunction, only one's got to be true. And then finally here, we're going to go ahead and do the negation of this whole quantity, which is what we just got the answer in column 4, right? So column 4 is true. That whole statement is true, so the negation of a true is just going to switch it to a false. Okay, so you can see one step at a time we're doing it. We get false for negation of Q. P or not Q is true, so then the negation of that statement is obviously going to be false. Okay? False, true, false. False, true. All right. Row 2, true. P is now true. Q is now false, so the negation of a false statement is going to be true. P is true, or negation of Q we just found out is true. True or true is a true statement. And then the negation of this entire statement here is going to be that entire, in this case, is true. Negation of true is going to make it false. Okay? So we get the first two are true, and then the third one is false because the negation of that column 4 being true would make it false. All right, column 3, P is false, Q is true, so the negation of a true statement is going to be false. Okay, P is false, or Q is false. False or false is actually a false statement, right? That's the one time when a disjunction is false, when both are false. And then the negation of this statement right here, which we found out is false, is just going to switch it to true. Okay? So the first two are false, and the last row or column is going to be true. All right, finally, row 4, both are false to begin with, right? So the negation of false is going to be a true statement. P is false. Negation of Q we just found out is true. False or true, when one statement is true, the disjunction is true. Column 5 is a negation of column 4, so column 4 we just found out is true. So the negation of true is false. Okay? So the first two end up being true, and the last statement is false. Very good. Homework exercise number 9. We've got Q or P and not Q. So logical operations, well, we could do it in the parentheses or not Q. For either of those can be first or second because you're doing those separately. They decided to do negation first. So step 1 is going to be column 3. Step 2, Q or P in the parentheses, so we do that next. That's column 4. And then we're going to put the whole statement together with columns 3 and 4 with the conjunction, which is right there. So that will be our last step, okay? So it follows order of operations for logic, okay? P and Q are both true, so the negation of true is going to make it false. Q is now false, or P is true. False or true is a true statement. Now what do we have here? Q or P, we just found out, is true. We're doing the disjunction, and not Q, which we found out is false. So true and false. For a disjunction, the only true when both are true. So this is a false statement. Okay, so negation of Q is false. Q or P is actually true because P is true, but then the entire statement we ended up with the conjunction we ended up with false. All right, column 2, P is now true, Q is false. So the negation of the false is going to be true. Q, now we're doing Q and P. Q is false or P is true. False or true is a true statement. So now we just found out Q or P is true. Not Q is also true. True and true, right? We're doing the conjunction. When both are true, the truth value of a conjunction is true. Okay, so all three of those statements in this particular column are true. All right, now P is false, Q is true. We're beginning with that. So the negation of Q is the negation of the true, makes it false. Q or P, false or, well, I'm sorry, Q is true, right? Q is true and P is false. False or true is true. Disjunction is truth, is true when one is true. And then Q or P we just found out is true. Not Q from column 3 is false. True and false is a false statement, right? The conjunction is only true when both are true. So we get the answers false, true, and false respectively. False, true, and false. All right. Column number, or row number 4. Both begin with, both are false, right? So the negation of false is actually going to make it true. Q or P, both are false. A false or false is actually false. Q or P is false from what we just did in column 4. The disjunction, not Q from column 3, in this case is true. False and true is a false statement because an and statement is only true when both both of them, P and Q, are true. So that would be false. So in this case, it's true, false, false. Okay, we're going to stop this session at this problem, homework exercise number 9. This is your math teacher, Dr. Swears. I hope you found these videos helpful. Thank you for listening to them. If you still need more help, send me an email using the inbox through the Canvas course in the FGCU portal. Again, this is your math teacher, Dr. Swears. Thank you for watching these videos.